Samity with the serve. Cross enters the match for Michigan. That's blocked at the line by Rollins. Here comes Minnesota, and a nice play on that far side to give the Gophers another point. Shaffmaster again, that one grazes the net. Here comes Michigan State, over to Monks, blocked at the net by Landfair. This time over to Sarah Franklin, and McGraw keeps it alive. Now this time Meredith Norris, but Minnesota is going to keep it alive. Cullen, here's Sarah Franklin again. And Shaffmaster throws it over.
There she is, very crafty by Melani Shaffmaster. And like we talked about earlier, we do expect her to be a bit more offensive than, some other setters.
Pittman again. The overpass, and that one's hammered down by, I think, Shaffmaster.
Yeah, Shaffmaster 2 for 2 here in this. How they pass here.
McGraw digs, and look at Shaffmaster in the middle.
A really nice, deceptive little tip by Melani Shaffmaster. 4 kills yesterday, and this is her first of today. Melanie is a tall setter, very athletic setter.
Leads both teams now with 10 kills on the day, and it's an ace.
Nice serve there by Melani Shaffmaster. A bit of miscommunication here, but you can see the senior, Jamie Cox, pulling the team together.
More offensive options at all times.
Erica Pritchard now serving for Maryland. Nifty shot from Melani Shaffmaster, coming off a Freshman of the Week honor.
A nice play by Shaffmaster. You have to get a feel for the block. Where are there? Where's the defense? And great vision. So we're going to expect to see a lot from Landfair this year.
Unanimous #1 recruit in the country. Hugh McCutcheon said he feels like she's going to take one giant leap forward now in her junior season. Another block at the net for Pittman.
Pittman and Shaffmaster together, and you look at the size of this block and then the ability of their... It's a nice play by Maryland.
Finnerty serving for Maryland. Landfair kept alive by Finnerty and punched right back down by Melani Shaffmaster.
Here to see this attack by Shaffmaster. Look how high she is above.
Winning in straight sets against the Michigan State Spartans a week ago, each of those games, or matches rather, and then against the Terps yesterday in 3. Maryland, a strong third set yesterday and coming out looking solid thus far as the Gophers
Alford gets us underway with set number 2. As Shaffmaster sends a dump over, and that's a heads-up play from Melani Shaffmaster, the freshman. And you can see McGraw just trying to get out of the way, just couldn't quite in time. Battle at the net will be won by Shaffmaster, just able to dump it up and over. Quite a few points already here in the second set. That one's controlled by Kilkelly. Shaffmaster out of the back row for Samity. And now Alford will send a back row attack for Rath. McGraw for Shaffmaster, and Shaffmaster gets another dump up and over. That's 4 kills now for the setter freshman Shaffmaster.
She sees Nicole Alford there just in front and puts it right there in the perfect spot to get the point.
Make that 4 blocks already on the day for Katie Myers against her former team. Bergio now for Pritchard, tries to go down the line, blocked once again. Minnesota flexing their muscles at the net as Reagan Pittman goes back to the service line once again for the Gophers. Alford's able to get it over to Rath, right into the block once again. Katie Myers is feeling it at the net, a net she's very comfortable with. Here's Stephanie Samity. And Kara Lewis. Now Shaffmaster sends it over once again. Melani Shaffmaster getting it over on the second touch of the day now. She only had...
That's a predicament, as we talked about, for the freshman. Taylor Trammell to the side.
And an ace closes out set 4 from Shaffmaster.
It was Maddie Cook hitting into the pin. Another serve at Schermerhorn. Quick set over there by Bush, doesn't work. Big swing from Landfair. Bush will go traditional this time and blocked. To go with a 6-0 run a few minutes ago. Wide set to Landfair, dug by Otek. Bump set will come to Cook. Roll shot from Cook. Kept up by Rollins, and a beautiful spot there for the dump. That has been a huge difference here tonight. Haley Bush serves for Purdue, goes short at Pittman, and a quick play over there by Shaffmaster.
I'm saying maybe we didn't touch it, but they let that one go. Looked like there was a touch on that.
Shaffmaster to Pittman, and the pancake there on the other side for Penn State to keep it alive. The dump down from Shaffmaster. All 6'3" of her reading that one. Shaffmaster with a one-handed setup. Beautiful. Rubright gets the kill.
Save by Shaffmaster. It's going up again. This is the height. These are the balls. She can save, and still they want to keep playing and be the best possible player they can be. So I totally get that.
Oh, another dump. Just reading it perfectly. Shaffmaster with yet another kill.
But again, with that size, and she's so high, right hand on the ball, and then just dropping her hands into the cross court.
Oh, there she is again. She can do a little bit of everything for Minnesota. Nearly started out her career last weekend with a couple of double-doubles. Just missed a double-double on Friday with one more dig. That's a back look. The no-looker that time from Shaffmaster.
Shaffmaster with a nice feel where she is on the court, just throwing that ball back behind her head.
Parker back to serve. Here's Rollins, and the dump works that time. Melani Shaffmaster.
And you're going to see Shaffmaster on the run. This is when the defenders, especially the blockers, aren't prepared. And that's where she's working on, continuing to expand her game and be smarter with her swings as well.
Coming off of season highs, 14 kills in the last match against Rutgers. And the dump for the freshman, Melani Shaffmaster.
Following Pittman on that slide, so a nice, well-formed block.
It's the first block for Nebraska in this match so far. The dump for Shaffmaster.
And Shaffmaster being obviously a freshman coming in, is that hard for the middle blockers to get used to a new setter?
Absolutely. It's hard to get used to any new. Really nice tip there by Shaffmaster. Speaking of Melani Shaffmaster.
So it's a 4-point Gopher lead. Pittman with the dig for the Gophers. Shaffmaster with the left.
Very smart than you might be used to for other setters or other Minnesota setters.
Cooper sets, and Shaffmaster makes quick work of it. And Shaffmaster back to back.
Well, they're not taking care of it. Minnesota's putting the service pressure on, and Shaffmaster, you can, like you said, high volleyball IQ.
Shaffmaster drops it in.
There she is. Great job by Shaffmaster. A bit of a miscommunication here.
Cooper over to Vrankovic. Shaffmaster again with a great dig. And Vrankovic, Samity gets a piece at the net. Shaffmaster to Reagan Pittman in the middle.
Great job by both players. One-handed set, and Reagan Pittman up in it and available.
Out right now. She did not play on Sunday. She's out again tonight. This is the second to last weekend of the Big Ten regular season. And the Gophers are hoping they can get CC back at some point. Northwestern keeps it alive somehow. And the dump works. Shaffmaster, her first point.
So that was a very smart set over the net by her.
Definitely. Yeah, now we have senior Ivy Whalen back to serve. Great jump pull up from Whalen.
Out of Eagle, Wisconsin. Oh, how about that? Reagan Pittman. Oh, excuse me, that's Shaffmaster going over on 2 in the Big Ten. McGraw is out. That has caused some trouble for the Minnesota defense. And there, oh, what an up and what a kill. Northwestern thought they had it, and Rachel Kilkelly saved it.
So Bazzario back to the service line. Landfair with the dig. Shaffmaster the dump.
Very sneaky out of Melani Shaffmaster. We've mentioned this in matches earlier this season.
To begin the match. Now Iowa on a 5-4 run after the timeout. And Shaffmaster picks up another.
Together, Kelly and McGraw are such a dynamic duo, Sam, in the backcourt. But Minnesota's patching it together right now in a beautiful dump by Melani Shaffmaster. A nice pass, just recognizing that Iowa had multiple opt-outs at the beginning of the season, so a lot of the leadership fell on junior shoulders. And a great two-shoot by Melani Shaffmaster there, but you had Iowa juniors having to step up.
3 kills per set, hitting .255. She strikes first for Minnesota.
.41 blocks per set a season ago, was starting early in the season for Minnesota, and I think blocking was a big reason why.
Wing blocking, being strong in the core, upper body, sealing the net.
Great second touch. It was a little tight to the net, so a smart decision.
You can hear a pin drop with this crowd, a well-educated volleyball crowd, and that's not quiet. They like that at the net.
Give Minnesota a little bit of time to get their block set. This is where they're really strong.
Eggleston targeting Wennis on that serve. Landfair just places it over. Gabriel feeding that time Fields. A challenge there at the net. Shaffmaster dumps it.
It was just with one hand right at the net, but even when she's back row, you'll see this play, she can just set this ball over the net, tough to read. She hits that ball down the line.
Gabriel serving, and at the net, it's Shaffmaster. That's your setter.
It's Carrie Rutledge back to serve. Shaffmaster to Rubright in the middle, finds the hole.
I really like that set choice by Melani Shaffmaster. Sets that they're not normally pushing in this environment. They're coming off of a great win at Oregon.
Second on the team in kills this season. Fitzgerald will set. There's Fran Egan on the left side. And Shaffmaster dumps it.
Yeah, Melani is a very tall center. We talked about this on prior broadcasts and in prior years, Johnny. Quite offensive, and so not surprising there that she chose to take that ball over on 2.
Shaffmaster with the jump serve, and it's an ace.
For the Golden Gophers. And really, that's a really nice placement. It's hard to judge whether it's in or out.
Fran Egan blocked by Shea Rubright.
It's a bit predictable. They're heading outside for nearly every set. So Shea Rubright, Melani Shaffmaster.
And this is just, it's a really young St. Thomas team. 6 of the 10 to play in all 8 matches for the Tommies, a true freshman.
Yeah.
So it's going to take some time to grow, especially in the Division I level.
It's an adjustment. I mean, certainly the game has progressed, and club volleyball is. Heidi Miyabe saw the line available and took it.
Jenna Wennis had 9 kills. Gophers with a 1-point lead. Katie Myers with the block on Herrera in the middle. There's Mance blocked again by Katie Myers.
Not allowing that one to get by, and Kylie Mance, unfortunately, right into the belly of that block, right into Katie Myers.
Shaffmaster caught Michigan off guard. Set her swing.
Nechi Peruka out there on the left side.
Dollar set to Nechi Peruka, blocked by Shaffmaster.
Really nice block by Melani Shaffmaster. We have talked about this before. Shaffmaster's tall. She is a sizable setter, and she puts up a really nice block there.
Nechi Peruka out of Latvia with the jump serve. Shaffmaster dumps.
Really nice job by Melani Shaffmaster. She knows when that opportunity is available to her to dump, and you can see nobody home.
Wennis on the serve. Dollar will set. Now Samity will play it. Shaffmaster finds the lane.
Sneaky little one by Melani Shaffmaster there. You can see the look on her face. Kind of an interesting play here with a tip, and Samity reaching for the ding, and Shaffmaster.
And you got to look at the stoic gaze of Hugh McCutcheon for Minnesota right now. Trying to solve this serve for Orgel. And second contact for Shaffmaster will do.
Samity.
Samity with a curving serve right over the tape. It gives Shaffmaster a chance to swipe.
Here's the play. Nice set and save. Goes up with her left hand, throws that thing down.
A one-hand push out to the pin, and Samity strikes that one down.
For the number 7 Golden Gopher, she'll serve. Megan Miller up for Rousseau, who's got Shizzo. Shizzo is blocked at the net by Rube Wright. Commanding lead for the Golden Gophers, and if Northwestern wants to get back in this game, they have to make a run right.
Shaffmaster had to dump again. Maybe not by choice, but because of the pass, and this time a kill. So already 6 giveaways. We're just talking about Hugh McCutcheon saying it was a lot of self-inflicted stuff last Saturday. In a match that went 5 sets against Northwestern. 6 points off the service line tonight, but Shaffmaster already has 3 kills at center.
Melani Shaffmaster stands at 6'3", so those balls, if you hit them right over the net. We asked Coach Rose, if he's been to Lollapalooza. Unfortunately, he hasn't, but he was excited for tonight.
Too busy having parking trouble at the White Sox game this summer. So Michigan forced the timeout. Pertosky had the service ace. Gone up 3. Lennis cut in front there, and Shaffmaster gets the kill. So Michigan set point, trying to send it to 5 with Paige Jones. And Shaffmaster pulled a fast one on the front line.
And Michigan State trying to play some clever defense, but sometimes it simply goes through the gap. Oh, that kill was denied just there. Put back up. Letting it happen on the other side. And Michigan State own goals it. McMenamin, a senior from Niceville, Florida. I wonder how it is down there. Point to Minnesota. A well-placed Kale Edmonds reaching for it, but did not have the wingspan. Minnesota with a 2-1 advantage in sets. Spartans currently leading the 4th set 9-6.
Shaffmaster gets the ace that time, and Minnesota up by 7.
It's been really difficult for Indiana to get out of. She's mixing up where she's serving the ball.
So Kylie Murr, the libero for Ohio State, steps back. They need 2 points. Oh, that was so tight. Smart by Shaffmaster.
But when that pass goes close, she is a great option.
You want to make sure you have a good seed coming in, because there's a lot of teams that could sneak up on you on those early rounds.
And Shaffmaster with her 2nd kill of the night. You can see the heavy arm for Geddes. Just been a matter of limiting the errors a little bit. Got involved in a block that time. And Morgan Geddes. And a middle set for Colheed, turned back. I'm sick of rolling and swiping and doing all that non-traditional stuff that was going down earlier. There's the patented power from Samity, and Shaffmaster has been a threat at the net tonight.
Just going up so strong, sees no one's up with her, and just...
Now Hayworth rips the serve, having a big impact, but Myers gets her off in a hurry.
One hand, a really tough spot to be in if you're a setter. Going up, you make the other players jump.
He had a little edge to him, a little bit of intensity in his responses. I enjoyed talking to him, but there was definitely an edge to him.
Little mistimed with the middle there as Kathy could not get it down. Back row up by Kubik. Back to Kathy again, who has been terrific as of late. And there's Shaffmaster. Heady play back line, the kill.
Positive touch on the ball. Here you're going to see slowing down the ball just a little bit, but with a great defensive up. If you're Nebraska, you have got to stay home as a left side blocker on her, knowing that she's going to get a lot of sets.
Second touch, Shaffmaster put it to the floor, and the Gophers with a 3-point advantage.
Ball is passed up perfectly. She can get the sense that nobody is jumping with her.
Illinois, Minnesota played to 5 in their first matchup last year, and on 2, Shaffmaster will dump it down. Shaffmaster flings it over. Melani Shaffmaster surprising the Illini too, and it's the biggest advantage for either team in a set.
For the Gophers, that was #1 in the nation. Melani Shaffmaster, Taylor Landfair. Wennis, a fantastic player coming out of high school, gets a little bit overlooked because of how star-studded that class was. Wennis to serve. To Otek. Bush. Right back from McGraw. Newton blocked. Point U. 22-11.
Hitters to get outside and have a big approach on that swing.
Shaffmaster takes a page out of Haley Bush's playbook.
The ball, but take a look at how she takes that ball. Nice. That Cook.
4 kills on 6 chances for Cook, all since the start of the 3rd set. Miyabe off the block. Bush back to Cook, feeds a high hand, this time the block.
And she is a fast kid, but defense is not her specialty, so that is where scouting is important, and you know exactly where you want to tip the ball.
Both are on the floor tonight. Oh, what a tip.
She has a good feel of where the block is, throws that one right behind her head. No one can come up with it. Off the block.
Boy, that was too tight for Shaffmaster to set, so she found a deep corner and put it.
She'll go for it again. Another low serve. Back the other way. Great dig that time for Bromillion. Shaffmaster unable to recover that time. Myers to send this one away for Minnesota. Paula the other way for Maryland. O'Million with the dig. Back for Paula. Another good rally here. Diving save. One more time. Another diving save. And just over the net, a good job just keeping the ball moving forward, carrying the momentum. Sire once again, top of the net. That's a good kill for the Gophers. Maryland looking to respond. Jones. Ricks. Sire can't get it over, and it's deflected back, that time by Huseman. 2-1 set lead heading into the 4th set. And trying to beat Minnesota for the first time in program history. Vermillion keeps this alive. Sire denied up top. Again, and another rejection, this time courtesy of Katie Myers.
Yulia Orgel special outside for the Wisconsin Badgers as Shaffmaster in at the net puts it down.
Go up and play big defense on this one. Said they want to get her more involved in this offense because she's so tall, so physical. She does a great job.
After her second kill, Landfair with the service and zigzagging through the back. Oh, and a kill for Shaffmaster with Baird serving. And McGraw has it jammed by Shaffmaster.
Her height and being aggressive. Take a look at the block.
The Gophers have come alive, so with their crowd. And a service ace.
Because it's not. You're playing Minnesota.
Right. Found that out in the third set pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Landfair out of the back. Swerving ball is tipped by Baird. And it's jammed by Shaffmaster.
Play. Wenis is down. And there's
And blocked by Shaffmaster.
Really nice block there. You know, the Pepperdine hitter probably had a better shot selection. Strong discipline on those hands.
Vanessa Polk off the block. And a shot there down from Melani Shaffmaster to end the first set here.
Against and with Pepperdine blockers not ready for that. You can see Chillingworth already moving out.
Definitely, Melani Shaffmaster is definitely good about.
Yeah, so Cece McGraw will serve. She can get hot from the service line. Washington State got a couple passers back there.
And up top here, great block there by the Gophers. And right there, another point for Minnesota. The defense showing out for the Gophers. That's kind of the rhythm so far this game in this first set.
Here, and you can see Janssen just not totally comfortable, but it's a better swing. She's got to work her way into this match.
So that's error number 6 for Janssen on the match. Oh, you just can't do that for Janssen. They were just right there, the Gophers.
When you're serving the ball into the tape like that, that is a momentum killer. And so they just haven't been able to put together a string of points.
Top 2 players in terms of kills on the stat sheet in right now. Oh, the no-look by Shaffmaster. That was just dirty, Meredith.
And you can tell that Washington State just so upset.
Shaffmaster is so good on second touch. She's hitting .535 on the season.
Where she is putting the ball. She goes down sometimes she pushes it to the deep corner. I didn't see the 2 touches, but.
Oh, what a block by Booth. Carter Booth, just a freshman. 6'7", what a presence.
Shaffmaster trying to jab it. She gets it off the tip and down.
One of the best serves that you can see.
Right back to that zone. Guchtikin has Hamill running off the net. And a big block up front for Booth.
It's a little off balance, but it doesn't matter. Point's point.
Now McGraw serving Wisconsin out of system. And Franklin is rejected. Shaffmaster and Huseman up front. Liz Gregorski to the service line. And Shaffmaster on the second ball.
Is so smart. She sees the court so well, even when she's not looking at the court.
So Wisconsin 2 points away from extending the match with Crawford serving. Shaffmaster swipes it down.
Melani Shaffmaster, offense at a fantastic time.
She's going to have another chance to serve, and that's the whole game plan. They've got to get their serving in motion against Minnesota.
And this is a difficult team, the Gophers, you do not want to give up points against by any means. Great effort by the Wildcats. Wenis gets underneath that. Landfair. Russo goes cross court, and that is stopped by the combination of Gophers, including
the ball really full out, but here's that tempo ball.
1-1 in conference play, trying to string together 2 wins in a row. And dumped in by Shaffmaster. That's what she does so well, and what we saw. Miller, a shallow serve, tapped in by Booth. Cross court, and the block. It is Booth and the center, Shaffmaster.
To really have a nice solid block, good dynamic block there.
Down to 1, and Minnesota looking to continue this string. Ross getting down to keep it alive. Tight at the net. Allison Jacobs in with a touch, and Minnesota continues to have Michigan's number.
Allison Jacobs really pulls that ball up. Niagara, right now they're capitalizing on the strengths of Michigan. That's why they're playing a 5-2.
And Johnson has led Michigan in assists the last 2 seasons, but Dow started out as the solo starter. Decided to utilize both of them It's worked well.
She knows exactly where those hands are, and she goes for it. And the difference is that she's a freshman, and she's taken those risks as a freshman, and that's a big deal.
Boy, struggle night for Kendall Murray continues.
Bit of a service reception miscue there from Aslian, but Michigan State recovers. Minnesota gets a free chance, and they'll get a point off of that one again, keeping the defense off balance.
That allowed it to stay in. Otherwise, that might have went a little out.
Right in front of the net, and you could see that one building for Shaffmaster. She wasn't going to set it up for any of her teammates, just tip it right over the tape. 22 assists, 6 digs, 3 kills as well for Shaffmaster. And immediately starts this off with a point for Minnesota.
Ohio State does best when she is firing, so when they can get Emily Londock going, they typically have success.
Shallow serve from Landfair. Gonzalez, how is that kept alive? Sent over by McGraw. Gonzalez, another chance, and Shaffmaster getting in on things.
The play doesn't always have to be up by your hand. Sometimes you throw a head in there, you throw a shoulder. CeCe McGraw throwing it over, and then a big block.
Toyosi on a banjo. They make Landfair handle the first ball. It's a 1, basically, 1 pass. Back the other way. Dig by Tessier. Up by Hinkle. But the block is too much. It's a wall in Minnesota.
That is a wall for sure, and Minnesota is closing it well and reading it well.
Have gone at Washington. She pulls up short, so they can't.
Well, Washington elevated on that and hit it straight down.
Minnesota, we've seen Lauren Crowlin from Minnesota, who hasn't played against September 10th against Stanford. Both in the second set, and there's Shaffmaster on 2.
It's a perfect opportunity and is able to catch Purdue completely off guard.
Adjusting nicely offensively.
Yeah, I really like that set by Melani Shaffmaster. It's a beautiful set. Nia Gross gets up and holds her middle blocker a little bit long, and Shaffmaster now doubling it up with a very beautiful solo block.
Gophers offense showing some really aggressive swings. I think that the Spartans are assuming that there is going to be some harder swings. That one blocked by, was that?
And that is, unfortunate. Grace Kelly kind of swinging into the belly of that block, and just, it's not a well-timed block. I mentioned earlier there was a graphic on Carter Booth. So Carter Booth has 3 blocks for Minnesota, and a team of 8 blocks thus far. There's another one, Melani Shaffmaster.
Yes, great block there by Shaffmaster.
Horizontal. Shaffmaster calls her own number.
Shaffmaster is she likes to dump the ball where the opposing team served it, make them not as stable with where they're going.
Back again. Franklin. Shaffmaster and Robinson, let me ask you.
On 2 middles in the front row, have to have a good pass to be able to play that double quick.
That not handled well on the Michigan side. That led to an overpass at the net. And that was shot.
But they want to definitely set her up to be on the net.
Dowd goes to the back row. That kill attempt is dug. Here's Landfair. She stopped at the net. Hannah Grant is the libero for Michigan, and there's a big block put up by the Golden Gophers, who outblocked Michigan 13-2. But that's something for her to be able to punch it that quickly.
Well, the most important thing for her is to have that arm up very high and ready to just take the ball down in a split second. And that's what she's doing. She's just ran 2 slides behind the setter.
Do they go to her third time?
Yeah.
Nope, it's Landfair. Set free by Michigan. And that was Shaffmaster giving a shot.
Michigan playing great defense.
Shaffmaster. She got blocked, and now another joust at the net. Poked alive by Michigan.
That time Shaffmaster gets the kill.
Being able to get the perfect pass and lead to that transition by Booth.
Here's Collins, and the blocking presence up front of Carter Booth with Shaffmaster to her side, and Minnesota picks up 3 straight points to take a 13-11 lead. And here is the woman of the set, Raina Terry, to serve. Oh, what a play by Shaffmaster to send it right back over, and Shaffmaster picks up her 3rd kill.
And that was just a really smart shot just to get it back, especially to get Hayworth back off that service line. And another point for the Gophers.
Work against this block. You see here, the block is sort of shading right. They're already there. Carter, Indiana was arguing, well, he called that, but the head, ref overruled.
Looks like the call will stand.
Right.
Another attempt there from Zulov, and it's blocked by Erica Davis.
Very nice job by Erica Davis.
CeCe McGraw goes cross to Cash Williams. This time Cash takes something off it. It goes a little too deep. And that's Shaffmaster's favorite, deep.
Got a pretty good one herself, 22 aces.
And 3 very good experienced players. All 3 of those have come from a different school, so they experienced a variety of programs.
Beautiful dump set swat here in the opening set. It's a double-digit lead for the number 9 team in the country, the Golden Gophers. Down 2 sets to nothing. They don't drop their heads. Shaffmaster, beautiful job. Took advantage of a ball that came her way and deposited it for a kill.
Oh, beautiful decision there by Melani Shaffmaster.
And of course, Nicklin Hames, who's not under the weather today, made a big impact. Kubik was there, followed it to the line, just misjudged it.
If it's an arm, up is up.
I mean, that's taking one for the team.
Yeah.
Shaffmaster so good offensively.
Herself as a threat as well. Even if she's a little bit off the net, throwing in these 2-handed dumps.
Stop, and that's a really valuable experience for a new coaching staff. Back row, Hansen unleashes. Here's Pata. Taking the heat, and right back it is dished by Shaffmaster.
Friend Shaffmaster getting involved in the offense even more. An incredible pickup from Murr. Goes right on top of the net in a backwards dump. She sees the Bram Shivers.
Shaffmaster dumps it in. She sold everyone.
Block her up. Everyone expects her to make the easy set to Taylor Landfair.
Second team All Big 12 last season, looking to continue to make a jump in her sophomore year on a young, inexperienced team. And Shaffmaster, talk about experience.
She's taking away that line of approach so well. She knows that scouting report like the back of her hand.
Hansen skies. Stowers, Awalea. Are you kidding? That's 8 blocks today.
She's got a ton of confidence, and she's got a really, I like a calm demeanor, still gets excited and intense, and I think the team really can rely on her in tough moments.
Mayberry got really high up on that one, going over the top of the block, and there it is. That's what we've been waiting for the whole game. Shaffmaster really going offensive there. Back over to Minnesota.
Dom Simpson gets blocked.
That blocker's hands.
Kendra Waite, Ava Martin, along with Kiana Schmidt, all league picks last year. And that'll be a decisive point for the Gophers.
Absolutely. All set up by the Erica Davis attack and the overpass by Creighton, but Melani Shaffmaster will never have
that momentum, side out, focus on the first touch.
Shaffmaster dumps it in. She is so crafty at the net at 6'3".
But the best part, why she has kills on the season, hasn't maybe seen this quick of a tempo, so she's exposing it and taking advantage of it.
Ortega looks to Buechner. Shaffmaster cross courts and an over dig from Minnesota. And Shaffmaster takes advantage with another kill, and that's her 5th.
especially over the last 2 matches. They went on a 7-0 run against Ohio State in set 1 with that same rotation. That gets a friendly roll of the tape from Shaffmaster. Choboy saves it. Beeson inside the big block. Awilia was there.
Took a big step to her left, and Awalea is able to close it up. Watch how far those hands get over to.
Gophers on a bit of a run here, back to within 4. And another point for the Gophers, another block. Beeson.
They've just kind of got to be ready for that every single play.
Absolutely. Minnesota really strong in the front row. And speaking of being strong in the front row, there's Shaffmaster with the dump. Close out a point if they need to. Coach Keegan Cook mentioned some of the losses. Minnesota said she slipped. Looked like she's okay. Here's Grote. Picked up by Simmons, and Johnson went for the shot. Shaffmaster out to Grote on the right side. Here's Simmons again. That one is getting by her. Unbelievable read and hands and movement there, the way she pushes this Big Ten matchup. Here's Wooker with that big jump serve again. Picked up by Humphrey. And there's Simmons into the block of Awalea again. Here's Kendall Murray again. That one Wooker. Here come the Gophers. And Awalea puts the ball down to close out this Big Ten matchup tonight.
Incredible.
Finish for the Gophers as Awalea puts that down to close out the match.
Again, for a massive stuff.
Oh, that was all Hannah right there. Dumped in by Shaffmaster. She looks for her offense as well.
Involved, more and more comfortable, and Rutgers defense has had some trouble.
Kierstad plays a free ball. Shaffmaster goes for the dump set kill and nails it.
So are all these other environments. If you think about Rutgers and their new gym, and Maryland and the Pavilion as well, it's just very difficult to play in environments that you're not used to all the time with the new transfers coming in and new players.
Serving, passing, absolutely. Gophers currently ranked 2nd in the Big Ten in conference play for aces. So definitely important how they play back at the service line. And there's a shot there, dumped from Shaffmaster.
Afraid to dump that second ball, and she could see that opening. Nobody was home.
Definitely. Kind of shutting down that rhythm that Davis was getting into. Here's Shaffmaster again after a little bit of a battle at the tape there. Swing from Shaffmaster, and Rutgers with a phenomenal scrambling from Chitty. Here's Gross. Shaffmaster again with the aggressive shot, and it goes down. Here's Taylor Landfair, the reigning Big Ten Player of the Year. Here's Nair out to Humphrey with the tip. Wooker's there. And phenomenal vision from Melani Shaffmaster to the back right part of the court where no one was.
Great serve from Landfair.
Here's Nair. Chitty, big swing from Humphrey, but it is rejected by Erica Davis.
Energetic, they're celebrating, which is well deserved.
Another great serve there from Grote. Better pass though. And the tip goes into the block from Melani Shaffmaster. You'll see here, Hunter, actually, so, you know, few rotations. And back-to-back aces for Shaffmaster.
She's really good. 8th in the Big Ten in service aces. Heaney. And Murd down on her knees in the dump for Shaffmaster. Set point, Minnesota.
Where she doesn't have to be. This time, the ball was tight. She notices there's no blocker up, but there might as well go up and put it right down.
Franklin transferred from Michigan State a couple of years ago to the Badgers. That's a nice tip from Shaffmaster. She has that offensive ability.
Honed in on this during film. They said, we know that Shaffmaster, if she's tight, she'll push it back. And that's what makes this matchup so exciting. Not only is it a rivalry, but it's two great programs.
Oh, Shaffmaster. That is one of the dangers Wisconsin calls that shot the peekaboo.
The defender to pick this up, because you see that hand go up and you think it's going to the middle of the court, but what she does.
Melani Shaffmaster back to serve. That's a good float serve from Shaffmaster.
Beautiful serve from Shaffmaster. It was a very flean ball, meaning it's flat pockets because it has almost no spin on it, dropping right in front of the passers. It's difficult to make.
Be off balance when she's passing that ball.
First ace of the match for either side. She goes to Wooker once more. Almost an overpass, and Shaffmaster takes care of it.
Wrong, it's these power attacks, but the ball has to be passed high enough in order for her to.
Thorpe stepping into it, but sent back by Minnesota. The joust kept up by the Buckeyes. From the back row, a blast by Londa. And Thorpe denied by the brick wall that Minnesota has shown so far. Including, we didn't get to it, but including this Buckeye great, Audrey. You were able to say hello.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for her. Again, just what she was able to do here when she was a Buckeye, but just her character as a person, just a great young lady.
Minnesota strong at the net once more.
To see if Ohio State's outside hitters can adjust to this block area of the court when that blocker moves in to take that quick shot away, but you got to swing it in the court. That was wide.
Excellent dig by McClure, keeping it nice and hot. And there is the block resurfacing again for Minnesota on at the net.
Yeah, these out-of-system sets, you can see Minnesota's block hit.
Targeted 42 total times on the day. Rousseau sets it up to Chin. Little off balance. On the other end, it's Landfair again. Overpass. Minnesota has a free ball. And Shaffmaster successful on two.
And San Giacomo knew it was coming. She was there at the net to meet her.
The Gophers are a really aggressive serving team. It's going to be all about how they show themselves back at the line. And Chloe Chicoine starts with a topspin serve.
In this conference, she continues to be elite.
If not when, or when not if, for Hayworth. Her serve was returned here. Alonzo Corsellis dug out by Minnesota. Back and forth the rally goes. Another chance for Geddes. That's blocked, kept up again. Dinked over, well knocked out by the Minnesota libero and hit over by Shaffmaster. Minnesota looking to force a fifth set. Shaffmaster in. Back even, you'll get another look here.
That's in. That looks in to me. Or if we have more back and forth gameplay.
A set from Hayworth. Geddes blocked and down. Minnesota.
For the Hawkeyes, it's Buettner back to serve. Tight, and Shaffmaster with her knuckle right between the block backwards. Mosher quick again, and looks like Shaffmaster got a hand on that. Right back down.
So Nebraska making all kinds of adjustments on the fly to help get points.
Melani Shaffmaster finds the floor. We know she is offensively inclined.
Here's the head coach of Illinois. Team USA setter, Jordan Poulter. Shaffmaster dumps. Minor running around, sets Harvey, and a block for Shaffmaster. There's the physical setter.
Avery Carlson up front, a much shorter blocker for Texas on the right side. Look for Minnesota to keep exploiting that.
One is blocked.
Kind of went down as the match went on.
Middle pass, middle swing, Minute almost put it away. Gophers have to reload.
To the outside this time, and Akana stays in there for Texas. Down the line, that's through for Shaffmaster.
Defense really sucked up, and she identified very early on left back was nowhere to be found. She pushed that ball all the way back for the point.
Singletary had it knocked back. Jared Elliott, the Texas coach, took a timeout, and then Texas rallied to win. And 2 in a row out of the timeout this time. Another ace for Shaffmaster.
What they're made of and what that leadership looks like, because you cannot let them go up 6-0.
She's also on pace for career bests in aces and aces per set, so great early from her.
Once again,
Orzel is stuffed. At the end line, 4 aces, 2 service errors to her season goes at Peyton Dueck. Again, the slide and a massive rip in the cross court. Quick offense and finding a soft spot. Keegan Cook, the head coach for Minnesota, said he wanted the side out percentage to be right at 60. Double block, shutting down Sheridan. Some float finds Dueck. Dodson splits the block, but it is picked up in the backcourt by Hansen. There's Dueck. The first touch, and straight down. 2 Golden Gophers there, including Minute.
At the service line for the Gophers. They're currently 6th in the Big Ten in aces per set, racking up 1.7 and tacking on another with it.
Number 16 in maroon, Kaylee Engelman has checked in for the first time for the Golden Gophers. Riley, the defense in the backcourt, out for Leverett. The coverage from Dueck right on it. Leverett again, stonewalled.
Here's Batenhorst. Here she is again. Shaffmaster finds the back corner.
Melani Shaffmaster by her.
Absolutely, really crafty play by Melani Shaffmaster.
Leads this team in kills per set overall at this point in the year. Shaffmaster, beautiful dunk.
And they took them all the way to 5, had to go to extra points in that 5th set.
Hansen blocked by Mendelson and Markley. Sent back over by Minnesota. Now Merzick rejected by the Minnesota front line again.
It's got to feel great for her confidence, and the other team may not have as much film on some of the other players.
They ruled that a net violation, but Melani Shaffmaster with the dump.
These teams' playbooks are, especially now in this set. If it stays as close as it, sometimes you see with these power swingers that they may not have the best when it comes to accuracy because of the power struggle. You don't see that with Hansen. She's got a mixture of both. She can swing it as hard as anybody can, like you see there, and she can plant it wherever she wants.
And for multiple spots on the floor, like you just saw. Minnesota now has 10 of the last 14 points.
She's slowly inching her way closer and closer.
Tuman has 7 matches with 50-plus assists.
Keegan Cook for the Gophers. They've looked good offensively, defensively. They've gotten the Spartans out of form a couple times as well. Nice job by Anderson there.
Preston tries again, but denied at the net front.
Like we said, offense needs to get going soon.
Yosia serves in, dives for it, push over Anderson. Shaffmaster has options. The Gophers operating smoothly. Block here. Tack that one on for Minnesota. Off the top of the block. Shaffmaster again.
Akasha Anderson just couldn't get to that last one. So we take another.
For Minnesota. McMillan digs that. Burke for Demetrician, and it's blocked right there with Shaffmaster. The setter puts it back. Ellie White, a freshman from Orland Park, Illinois. Back out to serve. That one well tapped over. Shaffmaster, the setter.
Well, Hunt, 6 aces tonight and went on quite a bit of a run in her last serving appearance. Thibault will set Wooker. And Ensley will tip it over. Shaffmaster to Wooker, left-hand tip. Back row Bush again, but it's picked up. Off the hand of Wooker, then Polabiec. Engelman gets a swing. She's slow to get back up. They'll go far side to Ensley, and Melani Shaffmaster single-handed blocks it.
All over the place, scrappy as heck. Check that out. Look at that solo block. Woo!
Foul to serve. That landed on Nebraska's side off the block, and it's a block.
The Champaign, Illinois native, a senior middle blocker. At the net, surveys and kills it. Why right there?
And we know Melani Shaffmaster likes to be aggressive.
Nearing the back end of set number 3, the Gophers looking to take command of this one. Diving play by Hansen. Wooker on the other side. Goes down the line. Berg, tough miss set. Wooker looking to take advantage, but has to recover her own. And a rejection at the net.
There was a lot of consternation about a pretty junky ball that Burks, but Minnesota's still able to get that point.
Burke finds Demetrician, and once again, Awalea this time with Shaffmaster, the block.
Shaffmaster has been getting used out there quite a bit on this right side, and there she finally is able to get it.
The silent set, an opportunity to hear what actually goes on the court. I mean, just out of the reach of Franklin, but we were talking, Emily, about...
Minnesota's done a good job of that. They've neutralized Franklin in the back row.
Shaffmaster has to chase that down. And a free ball here for Wisconsin. They go back to Franklin in the back row. Awalea turns it back. Again getting a piece of it. Shaffmaster tried to dump it in. Wooker picked up by Franklin in the back row. Another dig by Polabiec. Shaffmaster takes a swing and gets the kill.
Get to that ball and dig it up.
Going a little too far. Shaffmaster again. You see it almost just stuffed Iowa's block against the net there.
Yes.
Deary sends that one over.
I agree. That's why they have such a strong lead right now.
That one stayed in, and it is a service ace again.
Yes, they are. Brooke Mosher doing a great job identifying where she was on the court. Served over by Lily Berry and passed by Alex Acevedo. Tip saved by Berry and Martinez Mundo, put over by Hernandez, and tipped over by, her left hand put that ball away.
Well, Shaffmaster standing at 6-3.
Down 5 points, looking to make the crawl back here. Blocked by Minnesota. There's another point for Minities.
And Keegan Cook said he wants to send her out the right way. Henson serving. Emmy Selman kept alive off the block and finish off. Right now for Minnesota.
Let's see, does she have any tells? Can we even tell that she's going to tip that? No. Eventually, they do get a bid this weekend for NCAAs. maybe they are just the hot team right now. Maybe they've been playing the most volleyball so they can really settle into their game.
Shaffmaster. Second time she's used that move.